Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ìkejìlé Ìjẹ̀ṣà.
News from around the world. Vicinity FM 95.3.
This is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ìkejìlé Ìjẹ̀ṣà. The time is 12 o'clock. I am Paul Eteng with Global News. First, the headlines. SDP says coalition talks threatens its party unity. U.S. cuts African Development Bank funding. An Israeli midnight airstrikes kills 54 Palestinians. Now on the news in full. National Executive Committee of the Social Democratic Party has raised the alarm over recent developments threatening the integrity and unity of the party. In a statement on Monday, the faction's National Publicity Secretary, Alfa Mohammed, condemned the influx of aggrieved politicians forming a coalition aimed at sacking President Bola Tinubu without presenting any alternative vision for the country's transformation. The faction pledged to maintain constructive engagement with the federal government while holding it accountable. However, distanced itself from any coalition allegedly seeking to derail the administration and undermine the mandate of voters from the 2023 general election. As part of the event to mark its 69th anniversary celebrations, Nigerian Navy is set to inaugurate several infrastructure to achieve strategic objectives in the force. Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Emmanuel Gala disclosed this at the anniversary service at Our Lady Star of the Sea Catholic Church, Navy Town, Lagos, reiterating the Navy's commitment to capacity building, platform acquisition, infrastructure, and welfare of both personnel and civilians. As part of the event to mark the day, the Navy boss unveiled 3 ships, 3 helicopters, several accommodation plots, and office blocks. According to the Navy's boss, welfare remains a priority in boosting efficiency through infrastructure and tools needed for operational effectiveness. He encouraged the force personnel to remain fair, secure, and stable in their professional conduct. Away from Nigeria, Uganda has suspended all military cooperations with Germany, accusing German Ambassador Matthias Schwar of engaging in subversive activities and supporting anti-government elements. The Ugandan People Defense Force claimed the ambassador criticized General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, President Museveni's son and army chief, during a private meeting with Museveni's brother, General Salim Saleh. The military views this as foreign interference, citing Schwar's alleged contact with opposition figures as further evidence of an attempt to destabilize the country. Germany, a long-time development and defense partner, has yet to respond publicly. The suspension marks a significant setback in Uganda-Germany relations, with analysts warning it could impact broader cooperation, especially in security and peacekeeping across the Horn of Africa. As Uganda prepares for its 2026 presidential elections, the move is seen as part of the broader pushback against external scrutiny and perceived meddling in domestic affairs. Sudan's Rapid Support Forces, RSF, has seized control of the Zamzam displacement camp in North Darfur, following a brutal 3-day assault. The attack resulted in the death of over 400 civilians, including women, children, and aid workers, and forced approximately 400,000 residents to flee. The RSF alleged the Sudanese Armed Forces SAF were using the camp as a military base and employing civilians as human shields. However, humanitarian organizations have condemned the assault, highlighting the dire condition in Zamzam. The conflicts, ongoing since April 2023, has devastated Sudan with over 12 million people displaced and nearly half the population facing extreme hunger. The RSF's action in Zamzam has worsened the humanitarian crisis, drawing international condemnation and calls for increased aid and intervention. The African Development Bank will meet in Ivory Coast this week to pick a new president at a time when the continent's biggest lender faces challenges from funding cut by the United States government. The U.S. federal government wants to cut $555 million in funding to the African Bank and its African Development Fund, ADF, which offers low-priced financing to the continent's poor nation. Hannah Ryder, founder of Development Reimagined, an African-focused consultancy, admitted the U.S. aid cuts going to be a major tax and the first test for the new president. This is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Kejile Ijesha. Global news will continue shortly. For news updates and live streaming, visit our website at vicinity953fm.com.ng. Send us an email to vicinitynewsroom@gmail.com or call 0814-365-8302 for breaking news. You can also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Vicinity 95.3 FM. Now the rest of the news. At least 54 Palestinians were killed in 2 Israeli airstrikes overnight. One of the strikes hit Fahmi al-Jagawai school in Gaza City, sheltering displaced families. The school attack claimed at least 20 lives. Many of them were children, with graphic scenes of severe burns and destruction reported. The Israeli military said it was targeting a Hamas and Islamic Jihad command center, accusing militants of using civilians as human shields. A separate strike in Jabalia killed 19 people, though the Israel force is yet to respond to the incident. The attacks are part of a broader Israeli offensive with 200 targets hit across Gaza in 48 hours. As casualty rise, international concern is growing over the humanitarian impact and the scale of civilians suffering. The United States is shifting its military strategy in Africa from a development-focused approach to one that promotes local responsibility and reduces American involvement. As African Lion 2025, AFRICOM Commander General Michael Langley urged African nations to conduct more independent operations and share the security burden. The joint exercise, involving over 40 countries, focused on combat tactics and drone warfare, moving away from previous U.S. priorities like governance and humanitarian support. The strategy comes amid growing extremist threats in Africa, particularly from Al-Qaeda and ISIS in the Sahel and Horn of Africa. Many African militaries remain under-resourced, and analysts warn that the reduced U.S. engagement may create scrutiny vacuums. The shift also raises concerns about increasing influence from rivals like Russia and China, potentially undermining years of counterterrorism efforts. United States President Donald Trump has rebuked Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin after Moscow on Sunday launched deadly attacks on Ukraine, killing scores. Trump expressed increasing frustration for Moscow's position in deadlock truce negotiation with Kyiv. He told newsmen he was not happy with the latest attack on Ukraine. U.S. President said he's considering increasing sanctions on Moscow. Ukraine's emergency service said the attack was a terror on the capital, Kyiv. On a bit of sport, Kylian Mbappe has won the European Golden Shoe for the first time after scoring 31 La Liga goals in his debut season with Real Madrid. Despite Sporting CP's Victor Gyökeres netting 39 league goals, Mbappe topped the ranking with 62 points thanks to a weight system favoring goals in Europe's top 5 league. He finished ahead of Gyökeres, 58.5 points, and Liverpool's Mohamed Salah, 58 points. Mbappe becomes just the third Real Madrid player to win the award, following Hugo Sanchez and Cristiano Ronaldo. His achievements highlight a standout first season in Spain and hint at a promising new chapter at the Santiago Bernabeu. To end global news, another look at the headlines. National Executive Committee of the Social Democratic Party has raised the alarm over the recent development threatening the integrity and unity of the party. We told you that the African Development Bank will meet in Ivory Coast this week to pick a new president at a time when the continent's biggest lender faces challenges from funding cuts by the United States government. And lastly, you heard at least 54 Palestinians were killed in 2 Israeli airstrikes overnight. One of the strikes hit a Famil al-Jagawi school in Gaza City, sheltering displaced families. That was Global News. It was edited by Oluwafunke Israel. On behalf of the production crew, I am Paul Eteng. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for news nationwide at 6 o'clock. Good afternoon.
From the mountaintop, the sound is loud and clear. It's